When you think of Cabo, you're probably thinking about all the booze cruises, night-long parties, and Mexico's most touristed city. But what if I told you that Cabo is one of the greatest diving destinations in the world? Let's take it back to June 2021. I invited my two friends Jose and Stan to join me on a dive trip in Cabo. 9 AM we set out to the Sea of Cortez. Now the main goal of this whole trip was to dive with the mobula rays. These rays migrate through the Sea of Cortez every year during the transition to warmer waters, with late June being the prime season to see the largest fevers of mobula rays. So you could expect to see hundreds to thousands of rays jumping in out of the ocean, which is just insane. Safe to say, we lucked out on our first trip. We were out there for 3 hours and probably had maybe 1 or 2 rays jump out of the water. We didn't find the ray clusters. At the end, we just decided to take a dip in the water since we were out there anyways, and we were pretty stoked for the warm water since I'm coming from California and the water there is freezing all year round. And when we jumped in the water, it was even colder than California. I was wearing a 3.5 mil wetsuit and it felt like an ice bath. It made no sense at all. After a failed mission, what better way to cheer us up than some seafood tacos and an ice cold beer? By 4 PM we were back on the boat, still going strong and determined to find these rays. The moment our captain spotted them, we all jumped straight in the water, no hesitation. All I could see was a blurry glimpse of them flying away. But as we kept chasing, we finally got close enough, dropped in, the rest was history. It was the most unreal experience ever. This was it. This was the whole reason why we were here. The next morning we had a sunrise call and drove 2 hours to Cabo Pulmo, a marine national park also known as the aquarium of the world. Cabo Pulmo is known for its crystal clear waters, amazing coral reef, and a thriving ecosystem. Now, Cabo Pulmo was not like this before. What makes this place so special is because it was once a place depleted from fish and reef due to overfishing. In 1999, Cabo Pulmo was declared a marine state of crisis and slowly began its recovery process. Everyone said that there was no hope, but 10 years later, it became the world's greatest achievement in ocean conservation. Going from a dead marine ecosystem to a world-class pristine national park showed the world that the ocean can be saved. When we descended down 40 feet, the water was cold, murky, and green. Currents were extremely strong, and I was getting pushed into the other divers. I couldn't even see past 10 feet. On top of all this, we were diving with 200-pound wild bull sharks. Our dive master then sat us down on the ocean floor, and then we waited for the bull sharks to come. Cabo was such a beautiful experience that I want to come back when the water conditions were better. Fast forward 6 months to December 2021. I made a solo trip back down there. Good morning, Mexico. So a little backstory of this trip. It was pretty last minute and it was booked literally the day before I flew. And nothing was finalized, no dives were finalized, and it was all pretty hectic. But my friend Alex, he helped out so much and pretty much organized all my dives for the next 3 days. This trip wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for him, you know? So it's definitely a big shout out there. If you guys ever need anything, he's the guy to look for.
Normally in Baja we have silky sharks, hammerheads, blue sharks and makos. Right now we've seen blue sharks, makos and smooth hammerheads. Blue sharks are very clumsy, makos very feisty, and hammerheads very skittish. That's the standard, but everything can change depending on each individual. There is a very good technique, the pocket technique.
We've just set sail. I saw it. What?
Hey, Philip.
Yeah.
Over.
Got it.
Oh, the big
guy. Man.
Okay. Look at it. La huevera le gusta, la huevera toma. Mira.
So here we have the chum bucket, and looks like we're going to be using this to bait the sharks. We got hammerheads and stuff like that that usually dive deep, and we're going to use this to kind of bring them up to the surface. Alright guys, I'm back at the hostel. I just finished showering and we finished the shark dive. Unfortunately, we did not see any sharks today, but we did see humpbacks, marlins, and seals above the water, which is pretty cool. It started off good with the seals, and just in the end, we didn't get any sharks. We tried to bait them with the chum we had. It didn't work, unfortunately, but that's just the name of the game, right? You win some, you lose some, you can't really control the ocean. You get what they give, basically. When you do see the sharks, or when you do see what you're trying to look for, it just makes it all more special. Christmas Day and I'm back out here in Cabo. Honestly, Alex is a godsend because he was able to secure a dive spot for me on such a short notice when everything was booked out already. So, I didn't mention this before, but from my experience and what I've been told, the best time to visit Cabo is from August to October, and I think personally the best time to visit and dive Cabo San Lucas is from December through January. On this trip, I had about 20 to 25 feet viz maximum. Not that good, but it was better than the last time I was here.